like I've got so much room to move around.
Yeah, it is roomy in here.
It's roomy in here. It's the OGs. It's the original, your two original hosts. That's Chris Seaver. I'm Jason Up. The two of us are back here on the couch for another episode of the new... There was a comment on the last video.
I know, that's why I did that.
By somebody who said, when in doubt, you always go to the nips.
Yes, go to those nips.
We are back, and tonight we are bringing you a topic that we know you adore. We are going to talk more about the toys of our generation.
Yeah, which is great. Actually, like if you think about it, as the team, as the new group, the new 80s Revolution, this is really our first time delving into the toy situation.
Okay.
Because we haven't...
we have not done a show on toys of the 80s.
Not yet.
What are we doing?
Well, because that's a big one, remember?
Oh, sorry. That's
our big one.
Season finale.
Our like 4 or 5 hour two-part special of toys. So this is really the first time we're going to be delving into the magical world of 80s toys.
But not just 80s toys. That would be simple.
Yes!
We have narrowed it down, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, we are talking about the holy grails of our collection. Come back. Of our collection. You're okay.
Blown away
I know.
By the grail. By the light of the grails.
The holy grails of our collection. The holy grails of our past. The holy grails of our current. Meaning some of the awesome stuff that we have, some of the most valuable to us, not necessarily monetarily, but most valuable to us in our current collection, and some of those things that are just outside of our reach. Yeah, the holy grails.
Oof, they're gonna be outside there for a while, but that doesn't stop us from wanting them.
Stop us, and we
from
want
yearning,
them, and we'll all have them someday.
That's right.
So we're talking about those items that we want so badly in our toy collection today, and that's all happening tonight on the New 80s Revolution. In addition to that, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned to the very end of this episode because we will be talking to you again. We always talk about where we're headed. We always talk about where we've been. We always want to say hello to a few of you people.
Of course.
And once again, this channel is morphing into something else. Give them a little flavor, a little taste. That's enough.
Yeah.
Tonight, stay tuned to the very end of this episode to see where the new 80s Revolution is headed. You were here when we changed from the 80s Revolution, when we kicked that to the curb.
To New Coke.
And we brought New Coke in. When we brought the new 80s Revolution,
we've lasted longer than New Coke.
We have lasted longer than New Coke, and we're about to bury this, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. We're about to kill it. We're going to kill our brand.
No.
What is it going to resurrect into? Stay tuned till later in this episode to find out what we like to call the third segment.
Yeah, that's right. And we have a few pickups.
We got some pickups? We got some pickups to show you. I have a plethora of one pickup to show you. Christopher has some stuff to show you. We're also going to do a kind of a debut segment called
Dance.
We're going to dance tonight. That goes without saying.
We're going to dance for you. There's going to be no music.
No music. We're going to try out a new segment called Like I Totally Remember This to You.
Oh, that sounds so fresh to the ears.
We're going to try that out on you guys tonight. We're going to have another spotlight. Christopher is going to talk about...
We didn't get to put it in the last time, so actually we will get that spotlight in there.
Oh, we're going to plug in the one that you talked about last time?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
You'll have a spotlight segment tonight. That might be a little bit of an indication of where we're headed in the future. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Stay tuned to the end. Right now, we're going to go pay some bills. So after these messages, you know we'll be right back right here on the New 80s Revolution. Stay tuned. We're coming back.
I'm hungry for S'mores Crunch cereal. Oh, no. A tornado.
Oh, my. What a dreadful draft. I'll just turn this terrible twister into a terrific feast of chocolatey grahams and star marshmallow treats.
Wow! S'mores Crunch!
A magical part of this nutritious breakfast.
Can we have s'mores?
Certainly. S'mores Crunch cereal with new marshmallow stars.
Battle beasts, battle for the fun of it.
Now they've battled in
incredible battle chariots, the ram, the tiger, the reindeer. Battle beasts. And in battle transport vehicles that change into battle stations, the beetle, firebird, and shark. Battle beasts. And to carry your army, there's the bandolier.
Let's battle! Wood! Fire! Fire beats wood!
Battle beasts can grow into an army. Bandolier, chariots, and transports, each sold separately. Battle beasts.
We're back. We're back. Kick back, read the TV guide. Just when you thought we weren't going to come back after those commercial breaks, we are back.
9 to 5 is playing.
Anything good on tonight?
Yeah, 9 to 5.
We'll be there. Welcome back, guys. We're talking about grails tonight. Holy grails of yesterday, holy grails of today, holy grails of tomorrow. But what exactly, let's explain to these folks, what exactly are we talking about when we say holy grails of our collection?
Now, what, like, that we have now, the things that we have now that we consider these were grails?
Sure.
Or what is a holy grail? You know, and
let's start with the definition in general of a holy grail when it comes to collectors.
Oh, okay. I was going to go real history there.
We don't need to talk history. It's not, no,
all right.
holy grail of
Well,
collectors.
that item, that special item that you just have to have. You might have had it, but you really want to have it again, or you may have never had it. You knew people who had it, and you wanted it so bad that it must be in your collection.
It must.
Yeah, it has to be.
Indeed.
So that is a, well, I don't know, you've said it.
Yeah.
There's a grail and there's a holy grail.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, there's the grails that you just kind of, man, you know, that would be really cool. That should be in my collection. And then there's that holy grail that, it must be in my collection.
Yes. And
brother.
And I think that when it comes to price, we tend to think that the holy grails would be a little bit more on the pricier side.
Yes.
And the grails could be, you know,
probably swinging.
Yeah, you could range from anything. I mean, some of my grails came pretty cheap. Some of my holy grails.
You gonna mention that one?
Not yet. But I will. I believe I was called out for mentioning it multiple times in this adventure of ours. So tonight, holy grails, whatever. We're going to talk about them. You guys are going to enjoy it. But I forgot to mention in segment 1.
I am going to eat a nutty buddy.
Nutty bars, I think they are. I think they're nutty bars. I think Nutty Buddies
You're right.
are ice cream.
Oh, shit, this weird little nutty buddy thing.
I'm going to eat some pepperoni. Or sausage. We failed to mention that we are just we are in a strange mood tonight. And following tonight. And following this episode, Christopher is going to get behind the camera. And we are going to finally take a tour of this toy room. Coming up right after the filming of this episode is the filming of the 2018 Toy Room Tour.
Which you'll probably see before you're watching this video.
You will see the 2018 Toy Room Tour right now. Right now. I will be putting this up immediately, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Because as they're watching this, they will have already watched the Toy Room Tour. So we shouldn't even be saying this.
But it's happening,
It's
folks.
happening. It's happening. Grails.
Yep.
Let's start with a few things in our collection today that are so very special to us. Now, while I chew,
would you think that, I mean, would this be only from the 80s or something that like a collection that we have that we cherish, and it's a beacon of magic in one's collection?
It's our show.
I really love my Fright Night collection. I mean, I think that, and that technically, I mean, it's 1985.
It qualifies. Why? Why is it so
important?
important to you?
Well, the movie is so important to me. It holds so much magic and nostalgia for me. It's my favorite horror film of all time. And just instant memories of family and friends watching that film, and the performances, the actors, the writing, directing, all of it. It's just so magical. And to know throughout the years that there's all this stuff out there for this thing that you love so much. I mean, for me, that's like, oh my God, like, as a collector, you gotta start collecting. So it just seemed right. Like, I'm gonna get as much as I can from Fright Night. Whatever is out there, promotional material. I've got a vast Fright Night collection. I'll put it up here while we're talking about it, but it's a nice picture. But it's a lot of stuff, a lot of different media, different material, and it brings me joy.
Do you have the movie on DVD?
On DVD? I don't know. That is a grail. Yes, I have the movie on DVD and VHS and Beta and Laserdisc. But that's one. Certainly the Mask collection. But I don't want to get too deep into that because I want to talk about that on our toy show.
Oh, fine.
Nothing. Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be it that I have that I hold sort of dear now. That, I look at and I'm just like beaming with, happiness and joy. And I'm sure if I thought about it a little more, there'd be a couple more things that I have, but for the most part, it's what I want.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Again, the toy show, the toy episode is coming, but there's a few items in my collection that I haven't necessarily talked about that are kind of special to me. And when we do the toy room tour, which you've already seen, I'll probably stop and pause and talk a little bit about it. But there's this particular board game. I don't know if you've heard of it. Wasn't super common. A game called Fireball Island. Yeah, look it up on eBay, boys and girls. $250, $350. Okay, so you all know the story. In fact, you've given me some business about mentioning that I got it for $1 at a garage sale a couple of years ago. Yes, it's true.
It's always insane. It's never not going to be insane.
It's never not going to be insane. But the game is special because of the memories that it represents. I never had it, but my best pal when I was a kid had it. And this game was a staple of sleepovers, which we might have covered in a previous episode.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a board game that I played. Because I didn't do a lot of board games growing up. I certainly had friends who did, and I know of the board games, and I guess my family had some. But that one I definitely played, and I believe it was special. Because it was unique. It was cool. It was like a pop-up adventure in your face, but it was a game that you were playing. It was
revolutionary, first of its kind type of board game.
3D
board game, just and fun.
Very cool.
Fun game, and fun with 2 players, fun with 4, whatever. But I just remember, this special sleepover night when my friend said, "Look, I got this game," and we played it, and it was just amazing. And again, I never owned it, but the game comes with lots of memories. In the same vein, Torpedo Run, which we'll show you in the toy room tour, but Torpedo Run was that same friend, same sleepover. And this game is massive. It's a huge game that you have to play on the floor, and you need plenty of room. Is it a great game? I don't know. I've played it like 5 times total in my life, and I was 10. But the memories that it brings are priceless. Exactly. And the fact that I found Torpedo Run at a thrift store, at a Savers thrift store, for $3.99 is amazing. So for $4.99, I got Fireball Island and Torpedo Run, and they're just full of memories. Right behind that is Crossfire that I picked up.
You've been caught up in the crossfire. Crossfire!
Blowing out my eardrums.
I know.
Man.
I'm just that good.
Crossfire, I paid a little bit more for. I paid $10 for Crossfire at a what are those things called? Outdoor things.
Flea markets?
Flea market.
Yeah, but you know it's worth it though.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty rad.
All
It's
three
the
of those
original.
games. All three of those games represent one friend and one sleepover, and they're so special that all three of them are mine. What else? Teddy Ruxpin is a grail because of all of the memories that he represents, that figure represents. In fact, somebody posted on Facebook the other day, like Teddy Ruxpin turned, let's say, 30 today, or 35, whatever, and it said 35 years of lip syncing to, Def Leppard or something like that, and that's fantastic because you could put.
Yeah, you could put it in
You could put your Milli Vanilli tape in the Teddy Ruxpin, and his mouth would move to the music. So that was pretty cool. And again, as we go through the room, we'll talk about how important all these things were to me and what they represented. But what about? And we'll talk quickly about this so that we can get into our grails of today. Exactly. Well, that's what I was thinking.
There's a translation that came up.
Was there a toy back? Was there a toy back in the day as a kid that little Christopher Seaver just needed to have and never got?
Uh-huh.
Go ahead. Go ahead and tell us. Oh, you got a list.
Yeah, from back then, I wanted the firehouse. The Ghostbusters firehouse.
Bennett boys?
Which you all know now I have. Thank you to the Bennett boys. Brandon and Dustin.
Matt and Jeff. The Bennetts.
Yep. I wanted the Castle of Lions, which was the Voltron Panache Place castle for the figures that came out. And the second group, not the Matchbox die-cast lion set, which I did have and was amazing, but they put out a Panache Place plastic set where they were kind of clunky looking, and it was much bigger, but you could fit the pilots in the lions. So they made a Castle of Lions, and man, that was coveted. I wanted that, and I had those friends that had that shit. I mean, that beep, beep, that crap.
Stuff.
Yeah, I wanted the hive. I wanted the Sector's hive. Pfft, that was never going to happen. And, to this day, it's never going to happen. I wanted Omega Supreme, which was one of the big Transformers that came out. He was a big guy. He had a track that you put together, and then when he was transformed, he would ride the track.
Oh my God.
Omega Supreme, my buddy Greg Martin. I've talked about him before.
Agreed.
He had that.
He's watching, right?
I wanted it. I wanted the AT-AT. I didn't get it as a child. I didn't get it until I was 30 years old. Thanks to a buddy of mine who gifted it to me on Christmas.
You get a lot of gifts.
And I was blown away. I had almost every Star Wars thing you could think of, but for some reason, the family just wouldn't fork over for an AT-AT, which is crazy to me. But Imperial Shuttle, which is also Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, the Emperor's Imperial Shuttle. Never got it. Thought it was so awesome. To this day, I don't have it.
Damn it.
And it's on my grail list.
Oh.
But we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the hoverboard.
Hoverboard?
Because in 1989, when Back to the Future 2 came out, I think there was a whole generation of us kids that thought the hoverboard was real. And there was a special on TV that was like a making of Back to the Future 2 before the film came out.
Yes.
And Robert Zemeckis, the writer-director, is on that special saying, completely lying, but saying that the hoverboards were real and that Mattel was putting them out and they tested them but they were deemed too unsafe for kids and all this stuff.
And you wanted it.
And man, I wanted it so bad. I had I took pictures of myself with a skateboard that I took the wheels off of, and took. My grandfather was like a welder. He worked for this company, but he had all this like really strong wiring.
Get off my wiring!
So I connected the wires to the board to a tree, and then I stood on the board and had like somebody take a picture, like I was really floating. I was like hiding the wires somehow or whatever, because I just was so enamored with the hoverboard from Back to the Future 2. I saw that movie 6 times in theaters by myself. When it opened, I was obsessed with that movie. But hoverboards, and alas, they are not real.
You didn't get one.
No, I did not get one
until now.
I mean, they are making strides. There are videos out there of companies that have made hoverboards, and they like maybe they hover like maybe that much off the ground, maybe. But they're still hovering. Mm-hmm. But it's never going to be mass marketed. So as a kid,
yes,
those were the things that I didn't have. And I wanted.
I'm glad that you brought your ever popular lists, because when I was thinking about stuff that I didn't have as a kid, that I remember, again, we've talked about this 715 times, that all I cared about as a kid was wrestling figures. I know. We've been friends for a long time.
I just had to take a quadruple take.
We've been friends for a long time. It's time for me to tell you that. Yeah.
You think you know a guy.
You think you know a guy. And so when you're that obsessed with a toy line, you get it. You know, you there they are. So
no, we can't all be so lucky, Jason.
Well, you can. So growing up, there was not this, I need this toy. But even though I wasn't a G.I. Joe collector as a kid, I do remember the Terradome.
We all did.
And how, because as a kid, and maybe I'm the only kid who ever went through this, but I loved forts and bases.
Yeah, man.
Of course we all did.
Heck
so
yeah.
I mean, even though I was just playing with wrestling figures, I would make the bad guys their own dressing room and the good guys their own dressing room. So I had essentially bases and forts for my wrestling figures. So anything that I got my hands on, if I would, there was a brief period of time when I had like maybe 10 G.I. Joes. There was a period of time when I had like 10 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But I wouldn't get as far into the collection as to have bases. Yeah. So I'd get a cardboard box, I'd cut a hole in it, and it would be the base. So I was always into these bases. And the Terradome, when it came out, Toys R Us or Kitty City, not sure which one, but my toy store hung it from the ceiling. So when you walk down the G.I. Joe aisle, from fishing wire or something, was this gigantic Terradome hanging just above your head. And I fell in love with it. And probably at that point had like 7 G.I. Joes. But really, really, really wanted the Terradome. Never got it. Had no reason to get it. I don't know what the price point was back then. I'm guessing 100.
Yeah, it would probably be so like, whatever, we'll do it in a heartbeat now,
right. Exactly. But I'm guessing it was, $99.95 or something like that. I don't think it was any more than that. I think the 1986 price point or so for the Terradome was probably around $100.
I wonder though, because like the USS Flag was like the biggest toy ever.
Right.
And I wonder, I mean, that seemed like it was only like $100.
What was that price point?
So bizarre.
That's interesting stuff.
Because the Terradome also was like a big piece of toy machinery.
Yeah.
Let us know. Not as big as the USS Flag, but...
No, not at all. But, do let us know if...
you Joe fans out there.
You Joe fans, if you know what the price of the Terradome back in, mid-80s was, let us know. But I'm thinking it's around $100.
Yeah.
And that just wasn't going to happen. And the fact that I had 7 G.I. Joes wasn't helping my case. But that is a childhood grail. That beautiful... And only because Toys R Us hung it from the ceilings. If they didn't hang it from the ceiling, I probably wouldn't care. Yeah, it's true. Grails of today, my friend. What you got your collection. You've heard rumors that I have one.
Legends.
What is on your must-have list today?
I mean, actually, through sort of reliving the whole childhood thing, I've been able to nab a few. Just as recently as when I got the Rhino in the mask line, because that was on a Grail list. That was like, oh, I really wanted that. But look.
There's two sides to this list, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not going to go through all this.
Get your sleeping bags ready. Tune in.
What I'm saying is, folks, is I want a lot. We've talked about it before. I mean, I'm a guy who has 3 Amazon wish lists out there because there's so much I want, and I never buy anything for myself. This does not help. When the idea of the Grails came up, I was like, oh no, and a good majority of this right here, just this page alone, is Star Wars. And it's stuff that I had. Every one of these things on this list, stuff that I had and that I want desperately again. I'm a Star Wars guy. I was a Star Wars kid. Before all the other toys, Star Wars was there. I started getting Star Wars toys in 1980. It's the earliest memory I have is the land speeder. And I had Luke and Obi-Wan. And I have that land speeder to this day. Yeah. I gave it to River, but then I swiped it back. So it is back in my collection. But most of these are all Return of the Jedi. I'm not going to go with them. But there's a lot of Return of the Jedi figures that I want to have again. But I will talk about the play sets. It's because some of these were so magical to me. One of them, now this is stuff that I had, that I'm talking about right here. This is stuff that I had and I want again. So I want the Ewok Village.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I want it complete. You don't have to have the box. I don't need the box because that's a big chunky box, and frankly I don't know where the hell I would put it.
Oh, we can figure it out.
But I would like to find a very nice looking complete Ewok Village that isn't going to cost me $150.
Net and quicksand, everything.
Everything, yes. They would be great. It would be awesome. All the accoutrements and everything. I want I already talked about it. I want the Imperial Shuttle, the Emperor's Imperial Shuttle. I never had that. That's one that I never had that I want to this day, but it's expensive. Even the one we saw that was adjacent to us at RetroCon was $121. Now that's fine, I guess, and if I had $1,000,
right,
I would have been like done.
Like I had that day.
Yes, it's mine. I would have gotten it. But now when I look for the Imperial Shuttle, it goes for like $220, $300.
Do you regret not going crazy at RetroCon and getting it?
Oh, but well, remember, what was my main thing at RetroCon? It was getting stuff
for others.
Yes, it was for
Mr. Seaver.
Yeah. So
Mr. Seaver.
But I have to say that if I did have $1,000, I probably would have split it. I probably would have done $500 for the family and friends, and $500 for myself.
I would hope.
But I didn't. So
he didn't.
I want the Max Rebo band, and this I do want in package. This was one of my most special Return of the Jedi packs that I had, and I loved it. And it's the band that plays in Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi. The original Return of the Jedi, not the special edition where they put that weird CGI band thing up there, but The original. So it's the Max Rebo band, and it's a 3-pack, and it comes with the organ and everything, but it's one of those things where my aunt went on a little vacation, and I knew she had come back, so I woke up in the morning and she was still sleeping, and she always would bring me back presents. Okay, so I don't know how old I was. Oh, probably if it was 83, I was 6. Because the movie blew my mind away. Return of the Jedi in the theater, jumping up and down on the seat during the speeder bike scene.
Sit down, kid.
But so I'm in there, not really caring that my aunt is back. More about like, what did you bring me? And so on her chair in her bedroom was this package.
Oh my!
And it was a Toys R Us package.
Oh my!
So I'm like, oh, this is mine, And she kind of had her eye open. She was looking at me. She said she was like giving me an eye, but she was pretending she was asleep. She could see me like creeping over there, looking into the bag because she wanted to be up to give it to me. And she's like, Christopher! And it like freaked me out. And she's like, go ahead, look at it. And out of the package was the Max Rebo band. And I was just in love. I just loved those puppets, the characters. It was just so like, oh my God.
Bankin and Rast did that, didn't they?
No. And I want that set back. And I see it for like $185 for this 3-pack in package. I just can't do that. I can't do it. If it were $80, I would, go rob a bank and yeah, still, because I'm still like, I still don't. Yeah, I'm cheap, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so still further in the Return of the Jedi line was Jabba's play set. It was Jabba. It was his throne. It had Salacious Crumb. It had his little like tank with little frog creatures in there. And I do want it with box. It doesn't have to be in the box pristine.
Well,
but I want to display it behind the toys.
Yes.
So I do want the box. And again, they go for like $180 with box. Even if the box is like
beat to hell.
Yeah, it's like, nope, I want $180. That's a grail that I want to this day. Speeder bike complete in box. I've seen one for $29.99, and I'm kicking myself for not buying it.
Wow.
Yeah, it just the speeder bike on the front. It has a biker scout on top of it with a Ewok in the corner. Didn't come with the figures, just the speeder bike. But I want the speeder bike. The Rancor Monster. I want the Rancor Monster again. Gosh darn it. This was devastating to me, and it was my fault. As a kid, you tend to destroy a lot of the toys you have. Mm-hmm. And I was no exception, certainly with all the Star Wars stuff that I had and playing outside and creating scenarios and whatnot. Well, I stupid left my Rancor Monster in one of those plastic pools that everybody gets for the kids. When it's hot outside, you fill up that little pool and you go out there and play.
Swim.
So I had my Rancor Monster in there, right? And for some reason, I'm not sure why, but overnight, we got a frost. Yeah. And the next morning, the pool had frozen over. And the Rancor Monster was in there. Yeah. So half of it's sticking out of the ice, and the rest of it is in there. So I go to pull it out, and it breaks the Rancor Monster completely in half.
Oh my God.
And I bawled my eyes out. And I remember, like, they were just like, you ain't getting another one. You screwed up.
Wow.
Take care of your toys, Christopher. That was always the thing. Take care of your toys, Christopher.
You're
not getting another one.
You're never getting another toy as long as you live.
So I want the Rancor Monster with box. Complete. I mean, it's just the monster, but I don't want it all messed up looking. I would like a nice looking Rancor Monster. And then, a lot of Return of the Jedi figures that I had are on this list. I know them, so if I see them for a good price, I will get them. I would like them both carded and loose.
Well, of course.
So it's again, stuff that's never going to happen. This one's not too bad. This is just here.
That's a finger and a half.
I want my Voltron Matchbox die-cast back. I want that set back. All the lions to form Voltron. I loved that set. It meant so much to me. It was so rad that back then companies were doing the die-cast plus the plastic and making these awesome, heavy-duty, cool things. So, again, it goes for a lot of money. Even loose, it does. The Panache Place Voltron figures, I want them all. I had them all. Love them. I see them from time to time for decent prices, and I never have money. I'm broke, folks. I never have money.
Broke as a joke.
So lots of times I am like weeping in front of the computer looking at things that, man, these are great prices. Like recently with the mask stuff.
Sometimes you call me unconsolable.
Yeah, I am. Just a mess.
Sobbing.
The Castle of Lions. Again, Panache Voltron. I want that Castle of Lions. I saw it at the Gouger's place.
Really?
And I don't even want to find out what he's got.
Really?
Because it's probably like, oh, that's $450.
I'll go to $420.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't look that great in shape, but that's the type of dude he is. So
he watches.
But there. So Bionic 6, I want the full set. I want all the bad guys and I want all the good guys. There weren't that many made. It was just that. But I want them, and I want them loose or carded. I'll take them both.
Both of them.
Again, terribly expensive stuff to get nowadays. And it's just like, how am I ever going to get this stuff? So that's probably going to be like a one-at-a-time type of deal where it's like, I have the extra money. Maybe I'll treat myself for once in this lifetime.
70?
Carded?
Yeah.
More.
Okay.
That one that I have that my cousin got me, my cousin Nisha, that was like a miracle because she said that was like $35 carded. I was like, oh, took my breath away. I couldn't believe it. But the main family, no, you're looking at like $160 carded for those. Okay. But again, I'll take them loose. So if I'm at a convention, and if I see a box full of things like that are just like $10 a piece for a figure,
you're on it.
Hell yes, I will do it because I want that set. The Bionic 6, folks. Bad guys and good guys. Centurions. Centurions. I want them. I had them. I loved them. I vividly remember playing with them in the bath. Oh. Bath time. These were fantastic figures, folks. Kenner made them, and they were big. Big figures. And you could stick all these awesome weapons and flight suits and things and the masks and all this cool stuff to them. And they were so cool, so special. And there's not that many of them.
There's like 7.
And I had all of them.
7 or 9, I think.
And I have 0 of them now. You know why? Because they're so damn expensive. You gougers, why do you do it to me? A carded Centurion figure goes for $250 on eBay.
Yeah.
And a loose one, you can find them for about $60 complete. Okay. Which isn't too bad.
That I could get excited about.
But again, a guy like me who never has any money and when he doesn't spend it on it is like, well, it's useless to me. So Centurions. Sectors we talked about. I want to get the Sectors again. I had them. Thought they were so cool. I want them. I'll take them loose. They're not that bad loose.
Another small line as well.
Yeah, not too big, but I want them. And I think through time, through a little self-love, I could do that for myself.
We'll get you there.
Those Sectors aren't too bad. I have found lots, as in a lot, not... I guess both, folks. You know what I'm talking about. A lot of figures.
A bundle.
For like $120, and it's like almost all the figures, all the creatures that they ride on and everything.
Puppets?
Yeah. Man. Okay, the HeMan Commemorative series. Now I say the Commemorative series because they're essentially the same thing that you had growing up. They really are. A few tweaks on the molds, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
We showed you before the merman that I had.
They're beautiful.
They are the same figures essentially. Right. I mean, the backs are a little different, but those commemoratives are a lot easier to grab, price-wise, rather than the original stuff.
Of course.
Which can skyrocket to over $200, $300 for one figure.
Indeed.
I mean, HeMan alone can sometimes go for $450, $500. The original. The commemorative goes for like $90.
Yeah.
You know?
Even 90.
Yeah, 90 with just HeMan.
Remember when these were readily available on
I
toy
know,
shelves?
I know, and I had them, and I sold them. So I want them again, folks. I want to get those damn commemorative figures, take them out of those gaudy, gross, weird packages that they put them in, and just have the carded, nice HeMan figures.
Without a doubt. That extra bonus packaging is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's so gross, and I tossed it back then, and
Smelly.
I would toss it now. So I want to get those commemoratives, but I already have Merman, so I'm on the way.
Christmas.
Real Ghostbusters. I want Real Ghostbusters Ecto 2. I want the Ecto 2. Complete. It doesn't have to be in box, but it would be cool to have the box. But finding it complete for a non-gouged price, yeah. And then in the box, I've seen it for $200, which is crazy. And then I want the main 4 figures again with packs. And that's the big thing, because people like to gouge you for those packs.
$17, $20, $25 for packs alone.
Yeah. Because my main figures are at the bottom of River's, one of his toy tubs that are just limbs gone, paint is just destroyed because I was stupidly a nice father and gave him all of my 80s toys.
Doesn't pay to be a nice father.
I know. We're almost done here, Jason.
I'm
Food Fighters. I want to complete the line of Food Fighters. I had them. I had the vehicles. I want them again. The Food Fighter figures, as we've talked about before, I don't know why people shoot these prices up. I'm not talking loose.
Yeah.
I mean, when we found them at Chiller
$5 each.
$5 each, that was like
I saw the happiness in your eyes.
that was a revelation. But now, if you look on eBay, if you try to get a loose figure, Food Fighters, it's $35, and then carded, $120. $120 for a carded Mattel Food Fighters figure.
And, you understand when people want to make some money to do whatever they need to do, but we're a community. And if you found, if I found a box of Food Fighters, before I went to the eBay, I would shop them around to collectors, and I would give them a beautiful price because it's going to get paid back to me eventually. And that's the toy collecting community, how we should function. But we don't.
Yeah.
We're gougers.
Not us, though.
Yeah, not us.
Say no to gougers. And I want those vehicles for Food Fighters. I believe there was 3 made, 2 that are readily available. And actually, the carton...
the egg crate.
Yeah, their tank wagon or whatever, in box is only $100.
That's beautiful.
In box.
You could pull the trigger on that.
So,
I could see that happening.
I could see that happening, but the fact that the figures are over that for one carded figure is just mind-boggling to me. Okay, I have a Bogland. I guess that would have been one of... That was definitely on a Grail list.
You have a boxed Bogland.
So I have a boxed, in-cage Bogland. I loved those things, as I've said before. I had 2 of them growing up, and I have one now. But there was the elusive Halloween Boglands, and there were 2 of them made. I want the one that looks like a pumpkin. Mm-hmm. It's orange. Mm-hmm. It's got the black around the eyes to for the cutouts and everything, and it's in Halloween packaging. Cage. I want it. It's expensive, but I want it. Sky Commanders.
Oh.
Another Kenner line. I love these guys.
Kenner was killing it.
Oh, Kenner is we got to do a full show about Kenner toys.
We will.
But Sky Commanders came with all these cool grappling equipment and, tether lines, and you could hook it to one part of your house to another and send these, battling, and they were just, they were bigger, a little bigger than Mask figures, also from Kenner.
Like Mask?
And they had some cool accoutrements that came with them, and it was just a really cool line, and I had one, and it was one of those, like, recently at RetroCon, and I sold it, but I knew I was going to sell it, but it was one of those ones where I was like, should I sell it? Can I just keep it for myself? Should I sell it? Keep it for myself? I ultimately sold it, and then kicked myself for selling it.
Yeah, of course. As always.
But they're out there. They're not too bad. So I can see myself grabbing a few Sky Commanders. The HeMan. Okay, now here's a line from the original series that I absolutely do want carded.
Mm-hmm. The Horde.
From HeMan. I want the Horde. I want all of the Horde.
Hordak.
Yeah. It was Mantenna.
Mantenna.
It was Leech. It was Grizzlor.
Grizzlor.
It was Modulok, which was had the 4 legs.
Modulok comes in a nice box.
Yes,
too.
he does
really
come in a box. There was a Horde Trooper.
Horde Trooper is an expensive figure.
Well, a lot of these Horde.
Would you cringe if you knew that I had Modulok and the box when I did my He-Man collection? I know. I know.
Well, I want them. I want the Horde, the original Horde, packaged. Yeah. And yes, I do want them loose. They were my favorite baddies. Like, I loved them more than I loved Skeletor and Stinkor.
What
and
about
Beastman.
the playsets?
Well, I want the Fright Zone. I had the Fright Zone. I want it again. I've got that box.
You've got a box.
So I don't need the box, folks. I just want the complete Fright Zone. So I got to get myself that Fright Zone, and I got to get myself my Snake Mountain.
I feel
I had both.
So horrible because inside that box I gave you was the Fright Zone with the puppet with the tree that would swing in the door,
and he would grab you.
Yeah, had him. I mean,
what'd you do with him?
Sold it all for very, very, very undervalue because I was running out of room. I don't know.
If only I met you early.
About 3 years ago.
So yeah, I want Fright Zone, Snake Mountain, but they're relatively easy to grab. You know, they were so mass produced; they were all over the place. Yeah. I mean, Fright Zone is a little hard if you want the snake puppet with it.
Yeah.
But if you don't, I mean, but I do. Okay, I want some Visionaries. You know, again, that's a line that is not very long at all. I think it's like 8 main figures with a few vehicles here and there. And I probably had 2 figures and a vehicle. But they were cool. I like the Visionaries. I like that whole hokey, like, let's slap a hologram on a toy and look how cool it is.
It's an action figure.
You know, and that's what that was. So that's not like a huge holy grail. That's just if I happen to see it, $20, boop, it's
Visionaries.
Mine. Yeah.
They're very bland figures.
They are, but they're cool and they're coming back. Hasbro has, you know, they're bringing them in that whole like G.I. Joe, Transformers, Visionaries, Mask, you know, Micronauts, that thing.
Yeah.
And then I did collect Transformers growing up. I didn't have a giant collection, but I had the ones I loved, and I did get my Optimus Prime back in box for my 40th birthday last year. Thank you, my love, my wife. But I would love Soundwave. Soundwave was so cool. He was one of my favorites. I loved the tapes. I loved his laser beak and all of that. It was just so cool. It was a little boombox, and he was Soundwave, and he was cool, and I would love to have Soundwave back. I would even take a repro. I don't care, you know? Repro Soundwave, because it's essentially the same damn figure. So that would be great. And that's... that's it, man.
Those are your grades.
You know? I certainly could talk about a couple of the mask things, but I want to leave that, because I think somebody out there, and you know who you are, Matt, I think Matt is sending me the 3 mask things that I need and want the most. And I think he's sending them to me. The Switchblade, the Thunderhawk, and the Vampire. I think he is. So, and I'll talk about that when we do the toy stuff and the mask line, because that is a spotlight. I am going to go balls deep.
Wow.
On the mask stuff.
Wow. you got a sensuous
Sorry.
list
Sorry, folks.
of grails. Stretch, man. You got to stretch that out.
Oh.
Christopher's been pumping iron.
I have been
working that cardio, getting that heart health.
Trying to get healthy, folks.
And I have been eating even more. So, my turn to talk about grizzles, if you will. Now, fans, followers of the new 80s Revolution, and prior to that, the 80s Revolution, watched as I grabbed a few of my grails. You watched as I grabbed a few of my grails. You offered you offered me a grail. So one of the first grails that I picked off my list was the Knight Rider kit car.
That's very cool. That would be a grail.
That's a grail. That's a grail. That's not a holy grail because it's not in that out of reach price range. The story behind that is I had always seen it at every toy show that I've ever gone to. And I'd seen it boxed for the most part. And I'd seen it at about $185. And I always seen me walking away from it. And last year or 2 years ago, I went to a show here and saw a seller who had it loose for, I think, $80. And we went back and forth and we settled on $65. And so I got one of my grails, my kit car with Michael Knight action figure, the Hoff, for $65. And I was so excited about that because that had just been one of those things that was just out of reach. You know, I'd always seen it, but I was never really ready to just dump that much money in one sale. So grabbed that. Then there was a little show that we went to last year, and this stuffed animal just kind of was thrown on the table. My Pet Monster. So I scooped him up. Whatever. I think I paid $6 or $7 for it.
No.
What did I pay?
It was $60.
$60.
$60, but as we talked about, dudes were selling it for $200.
A table away.
Yeah.
Within the vicinity.
And that looked worse.
Right.
Than
Peeling
the one you got.
Everything.
But the only thing was it had both cuffs.
One missing handcuff.
You have one missing, but
for $60.
It looks like a great.
Yeah.
I mean
it's over
cosmetic.
There.
It's.
They'll be seeing it on the toy room tour, but for $30, I can grab one of that missing handcuff if I wanted to. But you know what? It doesn't bother me. So I was able to knock off 2 of my sort of most wanted items since I started collecting. Well, here's some more. Okay, so you know that the G.I. Joe obsession is coming. I'll skip that.
I started it.
He did.
I got him one.
He did. So that's coming. That's coming in a couple. That's a couple of collections.
I would say around May 26th. There's gonna be some things in that genre.
I don't know.
Toys.
May 26th may or may not be my birthday. I don't know. I don't need to talk about that. But the G.I. Joe collection is coming. In fact, when we do the toy room tour, I'm going to show you about where it's going to go. But we're not going to get into that. Those are separate grails. So my current grails of today, aside from the G.I. Joe, my most wanted thing to complete was the Ghostbusters, and now I'm picking those off, and we'll get into that. Peewees Playhouse.
Oh, yeah.
I really would like
G.I. Joe or Peewees
Playhouse.
Well, what should I do?
I would really like a Peewees Playhouse. And the box is beautiful.
I gotta say something.
Go ahead.
Do you know what kills me? And I probably shouldn't even be telling you this.
This is breaking news.
I probably shouldn't tell you this.
This is breaking news.
I did see somebody selling a Peewees Playhouse that was complete with the box for $90 shipped.
Ooh. Through the Facebook groups?
Yes.
I probably would have bought that.
And there was a part of me that was like, like I should just see if I can gather that money and grab this thing,
Ouch.
but it was It was gone. Yeah, I mean, it sold so fast.
Yeah, because it's about...
But I couldn't believe it.
It's probably, what, 160, 170?
Yeah.
So I would like it in the box because the box is beautiful. It's a really nice box. So I would like that. Of course, the action figures that come with it. I think there's 8, 9 figures.
Yeah, River had quite a few of them because I bought them like separate just for him when he was growing
up.
up.
And then there's, he
loves Pee-wee.
There's a few of the accessories. There's Cherry. There's the
We still have the chair.
Sort of, what is that?
I'm going to steal it from him and put it in my room.
Is that like a television that walks? What is it? That
it was Conky.
The Conky. Yeah. Oh yeah, the radio. The beatbox. So beat. What am I saying? Boombox. The beatbox. Anyway. Peewees Playhouse with figures. I do have the talking Pee-wee Herman doll over there, which we'll show you. I would like the Cherry, sort of bigger plush figure that came with that. Yeah,
that I would steal from my son.
Yeah, you should steal it, and it should come over here. I really would like that. That is sort of a. That's just a neat. Well, first of all, it's a great set. It looks nice. It's a good-looking set. The boxes are nice.
Yeah.
But again, it's Pee-wee's Playhouse, and when it takes you back to
Legendary.
that era. We talked about Pee-wee, wrestling, American Gladiators. There was my Saturday mid-morning after cartoons. And just...
Cyndi Lauper. She did the theme song to Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Come on in, please. Yeah. Really, really, really want that set. Pee-wee's Playhouse figures. G.I. Joe we're going to go to. My friend over here has a caged Bogland. When we do the toy room tour, you'll see the little dinky... melted Bogland that I have. Pff, disgrace. I don't care about the Halloween Bogland. I just want any Bogland in its cage. They're beautiful. The cages are awesome.
Yeah. And they're gouged, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. You saw us hit up Target and Best Buy looking for re-release Mad Balls. I would love an OG Mad Ball.
Me too. That's a grail.
To me... I mean, I know the price between loose and carded is pretty big, but I would really like a carded Mad Ball.
Me too.
But then I'd like a loose Mad Ball because it's really going to bother me to sit and watch that carded Mad Ball sit on my shelf without tearing it from its package.
Yeah.
I picked up my first set of muscle figures at a toy show that I will show you in the toy room tour, and it's the big box of maybe 12 muscle figures. I love those little things. They're kind of pointless. They're just,
Hey man,
they're tiny little globby figures of alien robotness. They were loosely connected to wrestling, and if you haven't heard, I was a big wrestling figure fan, and I know it's you gotta just trust me when I tell you. So they were loosely connected to wrestling figures, and of course that gives them a special place in my heart. But I have the box, this long box. I'll show you. I would like a garbage can full of muscle figures. That's the other way that they came packaged, and the grail of mine. Two things. The wrestling ring playset. So there was this horrible ring that's very small, and you would connect the two muscle figures to podiums or whatever, and you'd play against each other, try to knock them off. I don't know. It's terrible, but it's awesome. And there's also a belt that comes along, a Muscles Championship belt, which you would...
Couldn't you put the figures in the belt?
That's exactly it. You could put your figures in the belt. Muscle ring, muscle garbage can, and muscle belt on my grail list.
I'm thinking about like Steel City Con, and I'm wondering like all the stuff we're gonna see. I'm just like, oh man,
I can't wait for Steel City Con. I'd like it to be like later in the year because I need more money.
Yeah.
This character Manhammer, in some of his that promo that you saw, he had these. Gripping, he had these grip things in his hand.
I think they were specially made.
Well, they were specially made for him, but they came from this Hulkamania workout set. And as you will see in the collection, I have a small accessory from that bigger brand Hulkamania workout set. I have the hand grip set. It's coincidence that I and Man Hammer have the same grips. But that was spawned from the bigger original Hulk Hogan Hulkamania workout set. And the original came with dumbbells, a barbell bar, barbells, a workout poster, and like the Hulk Hogan headband and a cassette tape that would walk you through the workout. And I see, well, when we were at RetroCon, there was a slightly gouging person across from us, and he had one for $199. And he's going to have it at this year's RetroCon as well for $199.
Yes.
That's not happening. But I would love an original, the first release of the Hulk Hogan workout set. They came out with the dumbbell release separately. They came out with the jump rope release. They came out with the hand grip release. But the original is the dumbbells, barbell, poster, and cassette tape. Big, big, big box. Remco. You know Remco from my videos as far as the AWA wrestling figures. But prior to that, in 1981, Remco capitalized on the monster craze and got the Universal Monsters license and created these little 3.5-inch.
That would be cool.
Very, they were articulated only in joints, arm joints. Yeah, exactly. But they had the Universal Monsters figures and this beautiful haunted house play / carrying case.
Yeah.
Which was vinyl. It's just like those regular vinyl collector's cases. So you'll see them ripped. You'll see them in bad condition. The figures had vinyl accessories which were ripped. So Dracula had a vinyl cape which could easily be ripped. So I would love those. Those are pricey. Quickly, as you'll see in the toy collection, my WCW Galoob figures. I have the ring, but I do not have the box. And it's a nice box. So one of my grails is actually the WCW Galoob box. And in the same vein, the ECW figures that you have not yet seen reviewed, and you might see when we do some solo projects coming up, which we'll talk about later in the show. The ECW figures also had their own ring, which was the Galoob ring repainted. San Francisco Toy Makers was the same company that made... I'm sorry, it wasn't the Galoob ring. It was the San Francisco Toy Makers ring. After WCW lost that line, ECW picked it up, and they basically took the same ring, repainted it, put different stickers on it. And so I would like that ECW ring, which is the San Francisco Toy Makers ring. Just different painted box. Thank you. That is my Grail list. Please send... any and all grails to Jason Knupp, care of the New 80's Revolution.
Yeah.
Yes.
We definitely take donations.
Procrastination Jason Chase Party.
Yes.
Whatever that means. So, wow, that was... I said tonight was going to be a quick show. I was wrong.
No, man, we got more to talk about.
But that was our Grail list of today, yesterday, and tomorrow. Take a breather. Go take a pee. We're going to breathe a little bit. We're going to watch some commercials. Take some of that. We're going to be right back right after these commercial breaks.
What's cool at Dairy Queen? The Dairy Queen Sundae with thick hot fudge, juicy strawberry, or buttery caramel topping. The Dairy Queen Sundae. After a hard day of rocking and rolling, we treat you right.
Wake-up time, shower time, breakfast time, school time, work time, shopping time, travel time, game time, running time, nap time, tea time, dinner time, show time, party time, bedtime. What about the time you're going to spend with the kids? Next time, please find the time, for kids' sake.
Earth's first line of defense has a breakthrough in space technology. Magnalock. It defies the law of gravity. Activate STARCOM equipment. controls Starcom weapons. Figures and vehicles each sold separately. Magnalock, a mighty power for Starcom. A deadly threat in the hands of the Shadow Force. Who will survive? Starcom!
Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those scintillating, nostalgic commercials. Well, why am I sitting here alone without my partner in crime? Well, because I'm going to talk a little bit about a topic that he knows nothing about. It's true. He knows nothing about 80s wrestling, except Rowdy Roddy Piper. Well, tonight, we're going to debut a little segment. Nah, I'm just kidding. We're going to bring back, we're going to bring in the segment called Like I Totally Remember This, Do You? But tonight is a special 80s wrestling Like I Totally Remember This, Do You? One of my most prized possessions, I don't even know the value of. I don't know what it's worth. I have no idea. There's really no way of gauging it. What I want to see if you guys totally remember. Now I'm talking to you wrestling fans out there. I'm talking to you 80s wrestling fans. I'm talking to you fans who actually got your parents to buy you tickets to go sit in an arena and watch what we like to call a house show. No lights, no TV, just you, your popcorn, your mom and your dad in a smoky arena watching WWF wrestling live in the 1980s. How many of you guys out there attended those arena shows like I did? Well, in my neck of the woods, we had this place called the Rochester War Memorial. And in more modern days, it's become the Blue Cross Arena. But prior to that, it was the Rochester War Memorial. And the WWF came to town once a year, about once a year. Well, as you would enter the arena, there would be a little old man selling a program. And that program was like a 5 to 10 page magazine, which was, exclusive to that night's event. A little bit of a collector's item on their own. But the Like I Totally Remember This to You portion of this discussion is what was inside that program. There was a piece of paper inside that program which would run down the matches that you would see that night. And they were only printed for that specific arena, that night. So you would get your program for $5. Inside that program, you'd pull out a slip of paper, and that's the only time you would find out who would be wrestling on that card tonight. Who were the TV stars that you would see live and in person that night? Well, I was fortunate enough to be given a magazine collection. So about 4 years ago, my father-in-law must have known a guy at a flea market or something. And this guy said, hey, I know your son-in-law does this wrestling stuff. I got this old box of magazines. I don't know if he wants it. He can have it. $50. So my father-in-law, who had no idea what this stuff was worth, gladly gave the guy $50. And he brought me this giant box of wrestling magazines. Or so that's what he told me they were over the phone. Well, when I opened up this box, there were some magazines, but for the most part, there were programs in those magazines, and programs from the mid-1980s. Not only that, but they were programs from Rochester War Memorial wrestling events. So basically, this is a local collection of programs. Now that's fine. You can find those programs everywhere because the programs were not unique to Rochester. They would repeat all throughout the stops for that month. So you'd get the program in Rochester. It was the exact same program in, Tallahassee. But what was unique to my program, to the Rochester program, were these things. The inserts, the match listings, ladies and gentlemen. The match listings for that night's events. So as you can see, WWF Championship Wrestling from the Rochester War Memorial, Tuesday, August 21st, 1984, and below are the matches for that night's card. Again, I have no idea what the value on these things are, but to me, they are priceless. So for this particular for this particular house show, WWF Rochester War Memorial Championship Wrestling, Tuesday, August 21st, 1984. The main event, World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion. One fall, 1 hour time limit. Hulk Hogan taking on the Iron Sheik, with special guest referee Freddie Blassie. Intercontinental title match, Tito Santana taking on Roddy Piper. A return bout. So I'm guessing in July of 1984, these two battled to a double disqualification. A return bout, Rocky Johnson taking on Greg the Hammer Valentine. Now, Chief Jay Strongbow was originally supposed to take on Dr. D. David Schultz, but for some reason he must not have shown. So the person that owned this crossed out Chief Jay Strongbow's name and wrote in Jose Luis Rivera, who must have been subbing for an obviously ill Chief Jay Strongbow. Samoan number 1 took on Moondog Rex. Samoan number 2 took on Moondog Spot. And the match between Jose Luis Rivera and the Magnificent Morocco never happened. It's double crossed out. But then on the bottom of that program it says, be sure to check out WWF TV Wrestling on WUHF Channel 31, Sundays at 7 p.m. Guys, this is one of my most prized possessions. The match listing that came in the program for local WWF house shows at the Rochester War Memorial. Do I have one of these? Do I have 2 of these? No. I've got about 30 of these, ranging from 1982 to 1987. These all came in the programs for local WWF house shows, and to me, these things are priceless. 1985, Jimmy Snuka and Tito Santana versus Cowboy Bob Orton and Roddy Piper. Monday, February 6, 1984, Andre the Giant takes on the Masked Superstar in the main event. Guys, I was at realistically, I was probably at 3 or 4 of these shows. If I really went back and tried to rack my memory, I could probably remember these cards that I attended. Here's an older one. Take a look at this. You don't see this everywhere, guys. I cannot put a value on this. This is from 1983 and features then heavyweight champion Bob Backlund taking on Ivan Koloff. This is from 1983. To me, again, these things are priceless. What's even better about these is that the person who attended this card wrote the results of the matches on these lineup sheets. And that is so cool, because now I know that in June of 1983, Rocky Johnson was beaten by the Magnificent Morocco due to a countout. Rocky Johnson was counted out of the ring. Salvatore Bellomo submitted to Big John Studd's bear hug, according to this. Ray the Crippler Stevens did not show up to the card in 1983, and neither did Eddie Gilbert. It's written right on here. So guys, I totally remember these lineup sheets for WWF house shows in the 80s. Do you?
The Spotlight segment on our show is happening right now.
Hi folks. So this is our spotlight segment where we just take something that is really cool, really awesome, really special to us, any one of us part of the group, and we spotlight it, we talk about it. So I am here, and I'm going to talk to you about the 1985 short-lived television show that I adore to this day. Misfits of Science! That's right! This show was everything to me. It was very short-lived though. It had like, I think altogether there's 16 episodes. If I remember, one of them didn't air, and they consider the first episode two episodes put together for like a pilot movie or whatever. But yeah, it was only 1 year. And it was canceled. Ahead of its time, I'm telling you. Ahead of its time. This was a show that blew me away as an 8-year-old kid. Like, I'm telling you, like, it meant so much to me. And this was Courtney Cox's first big thing. Like, you know, she was in the Bruce Springsteen video, but this was like her prime time gig here, man. So Misfits, so it also had Kevin Peter Hall, who later went on to be the Predator, and Harry from Harry and the Hendersons. Basically it was about this group, this dude, this like really like I mean, he was cool. He was kind of like he was like the Mahoney of this science group, and they were studying like uberhumans, superhumans, metahumans, people with special abilities, and Courtney Cox had this ability to move things with her mind and yeah, telekinesis and all that good stuff. And then Kevin Peter Hall, he could shrink himself. And then there was this dude, Mark Thomas Miller, who I later saw in Ski School, which is one of my favorite films, but he was my favorite character out of the whole show. His name was Johnny B, and he would create electricity through his hands. He'd go like this and then shoot a electric lightning bolt out of his hands, and you know, towards his victims, and it was just super rad. And then the main dude, and then like their boss, like the whole Misfits boss, was like Max Wright, who went on to be Willie in Elf, you know, Mr. White Bill Cosby, syrup mouth. No, Elf, no, you got what? Elf, what? White Bill Cosby, Max Wright. But the show was just phenomenal. It had really awesome music. Like, I know it wasn't every time Johnny B like turned on his electricity, but it seemed like it. Johnny B. Good would play in the background. It's got a weird, cool opening theme song. In the original first episode, it's got Thomas Dolby's "Blinded Me with Science." But I just, you know, I talk about it. I've talked about it throughout the years. Nobody knew what the heck I was talking about when I was mentioning it. I mean, I would imagine because it only lasted, you know, one season. It was 85 to 86, and it was like a quick, very, I mean, you know, like I said, 15, 16 episodes, and it was kaput. And I had like crappy bootlegs throughout the years. And I have a really interesting, maybe it's not interesting, but it's funny. This story happened to me. Again, I was 8 years old. I was over at my cousin Jess's house, and my Uncle John and my Aunt Suzanne, they knew that like Misfits of Science was probably on, like, I'd probably seen it now like 5 different times, but it became like a huge favorite of mine. So I remember going over there for the weekend, because it aired Friday nights on NBC. And I would be like, I have to watch Misfits of Science, I'm not going to miss it. And I probably was raising a stink, like making sure that I wasn't going to miss it. Because like my Uncle John goes, all right, you can watch Misfits of Science, but you gotta sit here and finish your dinner. All of it. And I don't want to see one crumb left. So I'm like, no problem. Stuffing my face, doing all that. And I'm like, haha, I'm done, I finished. He comes sauntering in. He's looking around. Doing the earnest face. He goes, okay, go ahead. And then like I get up to go. And he goes, wait! Get back here! Calls me back. Jess, like, my cousin Jessie, she was like already laughing. And I'm just like, I wasn't even thinking about why she would be laughing. But they're all like, they're great. They're Seavers, so they're a couple of bungheads. They're all crazy. Anyway, so he's like, aha! And he points down to the floor, and there's nothing. But he goes, a crumb! He's like, I told you, you can watch the show, no crumbs. You know, you gotta finish everything. I don't even want to see a crumb, but there is a crumb. No show for you. And I start bawling. I'm losing it. I'm like, I can't believe it. I want to watch this show. And they are. Then they start laughing. My Aunt Suzanne's laughing. My cousin Jess. My Uncle John's like slapping his knee, laughing at me. And then my Aunt Suzanne was probably like, enough, like, okay, of course you can watch the show. You know, they were probably like, Christ, you know. But then we ran in there, in our PJs, and we watched Misfits of Science as it was intended. But anyway, that's a funny story. Shows you my love of the show. And then, just recently, I realized that, wait a minute, there's an official German DVD release of the show. Why don't I have it? That was rectified quickly. My cousin got it for me as a Christmas gift. And it's all here, folks. All in good quality. It's an official release. If you have a region-free DVD player or Blu-ray player, it plays just fine. But fantastic. I'm so happy to have Misfits of Science. And if you haven't checked it out, I think you can check out like a few, maybe like 5, 6, 7 episodes are on YouTube in full. So give it a shot, folks. Misfits of Science. It's a really fun, crazy, wacky superhero, cool show with awesome music and cool characters and some cheesy, awesome 80s special effects. And it's a great show. So that is my spotlight for this episode of the New 80s Revolution. Misfits of Science! 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 Science!
You can smush 'em, you can mush 'em, you can push 'em, you can squish 'em, you can't stop. Smush. Trade a smushies with a friend, the surprises never end, you can't stop. Smush. It's a smushy sensation and it's sweeping the nation, you can't stop. Smush. Everybody smush your smushies. Everybody smush your smushies.
Smushies sold separately from Fisher-Price. Mr. Turtle, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
I never made it without biting. Ask Mr. Owl.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
Let's find out. 1, 2, 3.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.
Getting into drugs and being high is a stupid thing to do. Being original and take a stand. You're free to say no. Don't let a friend push you in to taking drugs. You got a right to say no.
I'm a misfit too, Jason.
Yeah.
And we're on an island of misfit toys.
Yeah. Yeah, I would give you that. Whew. Back to back
Oh, man.
glory.
Now that was an info dump.
Back-to-back glory. I just dumped info all over you people. As far as those WWF lineup sheets, and you with this Misfits of Science. Man,
we're busting out knowledge.
We are just informing people.
We're giving you entertainment. It's infotainment. Infotainment tonight on the new 80s Revolution, folks.
I like how you did that. Well, this is the part of the show... Oh, yeah, just go back to that.
I got to see what's on later.
Well, what are we going to do tonight? That's what I want to know.
Man,
Are we going to watch Eddie Murphy Raw?
Oh, yeah. No, we got, Captain
Planet.
Yeah, I hate that guy.
I think TV
Joey's
Guide.
big sister went to school on the GI Bill. Oh, my God.
I think we might do a segment on TV Guides.
Oh, we're going to have to. This is... Always takes you back. Always takes you back, folks.
The TV Guide. Well, this is the part of the show where we like to talk about where we've been, where we're going, where we're headed, who we love,
what we got,
who we love. So let's get this. What should we do? Should we talk about the future, or should we stick with the?
Let's show our stuff first. Get it out of the way, and then get into the.
Okay. Yeah, the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, me first. One pickup. Super Fright features Janine. There you go. Uh-huh. Now, it does come with a little fish. For some reason, this is a ghost fishing hook accessory. It does come with a little fish. Little fish is sitting up there proudly. And this completes my Super Fright features line. And as you can see, I got those nice little action figure stands right at the bottom.
Yeah, did you get them hooked up?
Oh, I did.
Oh, nice.
Lets her stand without wibbling and wobbling.
You'll see them.
But, yes, you will. But Super Fright features Janine was the last Super Fright features Ghostbuster figure I need. That line is now kaput. That series is done. Fright features is done. And when we do the toy show, I'll show you what's left. That's it. But before we get into your haul, I do want to... I want to do a little... You know...
This is where that name comes in.
Chase Party, our boy Chase Party, that we will give shout-outs to later on. I haven't seen these yet. Apparently you have seen these.
Yeah.
Chase Party
I'll send them.
has done artistic renditions of us as Garbage Pail Kids. And apparently he slapped the name Procrastination Jason on yours truly. And I believe that has something to do with my lack of ability to go to a post office. I won't even get into the apologies. It's coming. Stuff's coming. I think Christopher's going to take over that in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I could...
But I will add to the list of stuff that I will never send out. What do you got to do to qualify to get these? Tell me you want them.
Come here and pick them up because he's never going to send them.
Come here and get them. If any of you out there would like 4 Dick Tracy figures,
get us to 1,200.
That's
the big prize.
Our 1,200 subscriber will get 4 Dick Tracy figures valued at $5. Not a piece. $5 for the set. I grabbed these at a toy show last year with the intention of getting them all. But you know what? I don't care about them at all. They mean nothing to me, and they're just sitting on my floor. So instead of putting them on eBay for a grand total of $7, I would like to give them to you guys. So if anybody out there would like 4, I don't even know if they're complete, I doubt it, but 4 Dick Tracy figures. Each one seems to come with a little accessory. If you'd like 4 Dick Tracy figures, tell me you want them. And the first person that tells me I want that you want them, will get them. Don't put them in the comments because then there might be 37 I want thems.
Yeah.
Send me...
Give them a private message.
Give me a private message on the tube, and they'll be time-stamped. And the first person that sends me... The first person of 700 people that are in desperate need of Dick Tracy figures, the first person that says they want them, I'll tell you that you're getting them. I'll take your address, and you'll never get them.
Or I can just take them.
But Christopher will just take care of it, and he'll send them. So here you go, Dick Tracy figures. If you want them, come get them. Tell me you want them, and I'll send them to you.
See, folks, we give them back to you. You know? Hopefully.
We're giving back to you in theory.
Yeah.
It sounds nice, and I will. What do you got?
Oh, okay. So
speaking of giving back,
this. Okay, so as you know, I'm trying to get some things for my son. His birthday is coming up. It's coming up quick. And my wife. It's a week apart. It's always
when's River's birthday?
A terrible time. My wife's is March 18th.
Oh.
And my son's is March 23rd.
March 23rd.
So I don't even want to, because sometimes he watches these. Anyway,
hi River.
There was a fan from, I'm not a fan, a friend of mine who grew up with me in my hometown, Wellsville, New York. And we recently got back in touch with each other. And he was my next door neighbor. I had a lot of best friend next door neighbors that were all around me. Rochelle, Corey, Carla, you know who you are.
You do.
And this guy Damon was one of them. So I'm telling, I kind of put out that I'm looking for a few certain things for my son for his birthday. And Damon pops up and is like, I happen to have something and I'll give it to you.
Wowzers.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So I go down to Wellsville because he still lives there and I had no idea. And at first, the whole idea of it was like, oh my God, I have not seen this kid in probably 30 some years.
Did you take the last train to Wellsville?
No. But I did to Clarksville. It was
good.
It was a wild ride.
I'll meet you at the station.
Anyway, so it was very, very surreal just to see my buddy again after 30 years.
Wow.
I was like, oh my gosh, so that was cool. But in addition to what he was giving me to give to my son, which was very cool, he goes, hey man, I also have this, and I think it's right up your alley. And it is the 1986 Doorway to Horror VHS board game.
Oh, wow.
And it has never been played.
Game night?
Oh, yes. It's in our game night that's coming up at the end of April. Hell yeah. And it's never been... It's...
Is it monster movie clips? Is it... Or is it...
What's great is I have zero idea.
We don't know what's on that
so
VHS tape.
It's going to be an awesome experience to,
Wow.
That's
going to be fun.
It's all there.
Probably better than the Saved by the Bell game.
That was fun. I had fun.
I did.
So, there we go. I got that.
What's interesting is it says
cool.
no two games ever the same. So it's almost like a choose your own. Over 8 million different encounters. It literally says that on the box.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's
why would they put it on there if it wasn't true?
False advertising right there, folks. So we got that.
That's pretty awesome.
Which will come in handy for our game night. And guys, you will see the first game night, 80's game night footage. Don't worry, we have it, and you will see it. You will see it. Now this.
Oh my, that's heavy.
Yeah, and
is that the Hulkamania workout set?
This is from Brandon Bennett, who again he was a huge fan of LBP, all my movies and everything for years and years, and he's come on over to the new 80's Revolution, and he is now a fan of this.
He's going to be at.
He's coming.
My birthdays. Well, he's going to be at a Saturday sleepover.
Saturday morning
that's
sleepover.
On my birthday.
Yeah,
we're going to call it a Saturday morning sleepover, but I know it's a big party for me.
It's not.
It is.
But yes, Brandon Bennett is coming. He has sent me a lot of cool things throughout the years.
Yes, he has.
And then just recently, he and his brother sent me the Ghostbusters Firehouse. Amazing.
Christmas.
And here we go. Oh, and he also sent me something for River, which was cool. I don't want to say it, but he sent it to me for his birthday. And then he sends me this big old package, and I've opened it, and there's some really cool stuff in here. Some stuff I left at home because it's just because it was a big, thick grip of posters from the 80's. And I wasn't gonna sit here and like open up all the posters and show you everything.
Full-size posters.
Full-size posters. They're awesome.
Movie posters?
Yes, movie posters and video store posters.
Oh my!
Very cool.
Goodness.
Some real good gems in there too that are gonna be adorning the walls of the Sievage household. But anyway, so now he knows a lot of this stuff. I already have, but I believe it was probably geared more towards when I was trying to open up the store. But then he has some stuff that is specifically, I know, for me to add to my collection. And when I saw some of the things, I had to pick up my eyeballs from the ground. Anyway, so he's got a lot of VHS in here, which is great, and I have most of these films. But they are, look at this. This is still in
sealed,
wrapping in its cellophane in Temple of Doom. We got Cyborg. This is awesome because I actually really dig this movie. This is a 1994 film. It's called My Boyfriend's Back. I have it on Blu-ray. And here it is on VHS, and this is definitely going in my collection.
That's beautiful.
Still packaged. Still packaged Blazing Saddles.
Wow.
Some of this stuff is going to adorn this set as well. It's all Jason. It's all magic. There's some Fright Fest. It's a Nickelodeon. Look at that. Halloween themed, beautiful orange VHS.
Love those orange
Nickelodeon.
cases.
You know, in the 90s, whatever. Whatever. Branding. Batteries Not Included novel.
The book! Still smells like Jessica Lange.
One of my favorite 80s films of all time, Harry and the Hendersons. I still cry watching this movie, and I bawled my eyes out with my aunt in the movie theater. Still packaged. Harry and the Hendersons. Highlander. There can be only one. There can be only one. RoboCop. Still sealed.
Take a look at that. Take a look at the bottom of that. It is Orion.
Orion Pictures.
Sealed.
Still sealed RoboCop.
Stamped Orion.
That's definitely going in the collection.
That's just
but I already have it. But it's just a nice display.
That's just a nice looking box.
This is a really good, I mean, it's in good shape.
That's nice looking.
She-Devil with Roseanne Barr and Meryl Streep.
March 27th.
My buddy Josh Swire adores this movie. And yeah, March 27th, the show is coming back.
Roseanne.
This is Super Friends. I kind of, I watched it a little bit, but I was more of a Marvel. I watched Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends and all that stuff. Super Friends. Ooh. Still packaged. Look at this. I will add this, folks, to this.
What? You're kidding me. You're
Dick Tracy.
Kidding me.
The movie. Still in package.
Come get them, boys and girls.
Brandon, you won't mind. I know it's going to a good cause.
Paying it forward.
Yes, that's right.
Come
Dick
get
Tracy in package will go with these guys.
Come get them just because we love you. Just because we love you.
Again, I also have this Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. It is a classic Jim Henson Christmas tale. Love it. Now it's Jason's. Big. Classic 1988. Come on now.
Beauty.
Beverly Hills Cop. VHS.
Ooh, love this one. Love this movie.
A little Van Damage.
Love
Kickboxer.
that movie.
Love this movie. This is so dope. This movie's great. Here's a beautiful VHS of it, which I don't have, so that's going beautifully in my collection.
Ooh.
I've got the DVD, though.
Ooh.
And then we got some tapes here. We got some cassettes, which is really cool. We got a Dokken.
No kidding.
Which is great. Duran Duran. My boys, the Cars.
I wonder if he watched our music special.
And then, of course, we got
Ray Parker.
Ray Parker Jr.
And his one song.
Ghostbusters. So we got those tapes. We got a nice novelization of The Empire Strikes Back. Right, Chiang?
Pretty. Pretty.
We got a Wizard magazine from the 90s. You guys remember Wizard? I certainly do, because I collected them. I'm a comic book dork.
Beavis and Butthead, one of my favorites of the 90s.
Got that. This cool little weird Pee-wee Herman biographics.
What is that?
Comic book. It is a comic book.
Is it dark, though? Or is it looks dark.
It could be. Let's see. What do we got? 1992 this comic was from. It's Biographics Pee-wee Herman. The Horror Fan magazine. I do remember these. Oh, and look, on the back, a movie that I am so disappointed that Mr. Jason Knupp has not seen this film. And it's going to be rectified because he'll love it.
Stranger
and
Things?
I cannot wait to show it to him in the home
it's
theater.
They Live. Oh, They Live.
They Live.
Yes. You don't invite me over to the home theater to watch stuff.
Yeah, I do. And here we go. Cool little magazine. Not as cool as Fangoria or Gore Zone, which was also owned by Fangoria, but a cool little fun horror magazine, which is awesome. Thank you, Brandon. Now we're gonna start dipping into the stuff that's was like, oh wow.
Really?
This is
This
dope.
wasn't oh wow stuff yet.
Look at this. Do you know what this is?
It looks like a poster. Wait a minute. That's Spaceballs.
That is Spaceballs. This is
What is that?
This is a promo for the VHS.
Oh my god.
Spaceballs promo.
Oh my god.
How awesome is that?
That's pretty good.
That's going up in the 80s room.
Pretty good. Pretty
good.
Pretty good.
Then we got
this
is one of those lobby sets for when a video store, they get promo material for the stuff that's about to come out. This is a 1989 from Full Moon Puppet Master video lobby set to let y'all know that Puppet Master is coming and what they will get with their video and all that good stuff, all the video stores and everything. So cool.
I don't know what to say.
Love the Puppet Master films, love Full Moon, early Full Moon, and I will definitely be doing some talks about Full Moon.
Don't know what to say.
This is cool. The Lost Boys soundtrack, which I do have on cassette, but I don't have on vinyl.
But
and now I do.
You do now. You do
now I do. Which is awesome.
Wow.
It's actually a soundtrack that I will be talking about in our movie episode, because I do love this soundtrack. This, folks, is the Ernest Goes to Jail trailer. There you go. This is the actual trailer reel, the film reel for Ernest Goes to Jail. And you know I'm a giant Ernest fan, and this is so rad. This is so awesome. This is the... There was never a red band. This says the green band trailer for Ernest Goes to Jail. Like there'd be a red band, please. Awesome. But this...
Oh my.
This is where I was like... I almost wept.
Oh.
Because... This has been on one of my wish lists. It's in my wish list. It's in one of my... because I loved this cereal so much.
Bennett.
And I'm sure, you know, lots of you people probably collect those. I mean, I certainly have my Monster cereal boxes, but this is from Listen to this. This is from 1985, folks.
Early Ghostbusters right here.
This is the real Ghostbusters cereal.
Box.
It's the box. It's the cereal box. And look at this. You can get... This was your chance to get your first look at the real Ghostbusters
Cartoon.
before it hit our screens. The cartoon. with holographic real Ghostbusters caricatures on the front. This was the Ralston cereal, which I loved. And all you fiends out there loved it as well. You know you did. But this is so cool, so rad. I am going to put it together and put it up in my 80s room. I love it. That's one that I can check off. Because there's a lot of cereal boxes that I love that I want to grab again.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, but this was, now I don't have to get it because it's right here. And it's a special one.
Look at that Ralston Purina.
I know, man. It's so cool.
Look at that.
It's really awesome, guys. I love it. The limited edition hologram series.
Yeah, I mean, it's limited edition. Only $8.99 and 2 proofs of purchase for that VHS tape. Should we send it in?
Oh, this is amazing. 1985.
Mr. Bennett, your generosity to my pal blows my mind. I won't talk about my level of envy. I need not mention my jealousy.
Oh, you've got some stuff.
I just want to say...
Wait until May 26th.
Thank you for contributing to this glorious collection.
Yes. I have talked to you, Brandon. Thank you so much.
I have enjoyed watching this be opened. You know, I started a little back in the early episodes of the show. You saw that I had a little VHS collection growing, and I mean, sometimes you just got to choose. You got to pick your poison. If I was going to collect VHS tapes, this room would be overcome with VHS tapes. I would just commit to that. So I ended up getting rid of most of them. I gave some to you. I believe our first date was me giving you some VHS tapes. But so, you know, I love seeing them, but I'm not going to collect them. But seeing some of these, especially sealed, they're just so nice looking. The RoboCop one is beautiful. Mm-hmm. Blazing Saddles looks great. Yeah. I mean, they're just so nice to look at.
You're damn right.
Brandon Bennett and his brother, the lovely Dustin. So yeah. All right. Well, the pickup portion of our show is complete. No new 80s Revolution show would be complete without saying a few what-ups to... Are you okay? Are you all right?
Yes, my bones, folks. I'm working out, and it's been a struggle. What do you do? What do you do?
How better? As I was saying, no new 80s Revolution show is complete without saying hello to some of our favorite people in the world. Let's do that right now.
All right. Hi, Chase.
Chase, party!
What's up, Chase?
What's up, my boy?
Hi, Dan.
Todd. What's up, big guy?
Yo, T-Bob.
B. Todd in the hizzy.
Chad. The Brandon boys. The Bennett boys. Brandon doesn't. His family.
Mm-hmm.
Clarissa.
Who?
Melissa.
Clarissa, she got a little embarrassed when we said what's up to her.
Yeah, well, here's some more.
Should we say what's up to Clarissa again?
Yo, what's up, Clarissa?
What's up, Clarissa?
Tom Strickland, who has been designing new shirts.
Yeah.
I've got him.
What do we got coming?
I'm not going to tell you.
What do we got coming?
More surprises.
T-Public, right?
That's right, T-Public. But Tom Strickland is doing an awesome job, and thank you so much. I've been sending him copies of my Saturday morning sleepovers, and he's been loving them. So thank you so much, Tom. Keep that up. He just did a Saturday morning sleepover shirt for us, and it's awesome. Looks so sweet. It is up on the Low Budget Pictures T-Public. So dope. Such a cool design.
And on the New 80s Revolution T-Public, you can get your Stubborn Things T-shirt exclusively.
You can get a lot of cool T-shirts. Yeah. If you're a fan of the show and you know some of the in-jokes that are specifically geared to some of you
B-Todd
people out there. You got to grab some, but I mean, I love a lot of those designs. And he's got some more percolating. Gave him some designs that should be real fun for everybody out there.
AJH90210. Say hello to Brandon, Kelly, Dylan, Andrea, AJH90210. You told me not to forget your shout out. So there you go. Buddy.
There, you big baby.
There. You happy now?
Okay, so we got, I want to give a shout out to AZ 80's Girl, Arizona 80's Girl. Check out her channel on YouTube. It's pretty dope. We've talked about it before, but she's a rad chick, and she has a lot of cool, I mean, she is basically like this, but it's all like 80's girl stuff.
Yeah.
Which is rad.
So fun. So fun.
She-Ra, I mean, all that stuff. It's so cool. So cool. Then we got a new subscriber and commenter, and she's been really like dipping all sorts of toes and everything, every parts of her balls and everything into the New 80's Revolution. Miss Lisa Loves on YouTube.
Lisa loves the New 80's Revolution.
Yes, she does. Lisa loves the New 80's Revolution. But check out her channel. It's also, she is a fan of all this stuff. She's a fan of horror and toy collecting and all sorts of sweet stuff. And she puts her family on, and they do little collection videos as well. And it's pretty sweet.
What's up, Leroy Green?
Leroy Green. Bruce Leroy
Green. 85.
Darkness's Dave Carroll, who is now a patron.
Darkness is a patron?
He is a patron. He got us another 5-ski.
Darkness.
Another Finsky.
We bow down to you, sir.
So thank you very much, Dave.
I haven't said what's up to Sergeant Legacy 7.
Contributions.
I'm
sitting on my nutsack.
It's a big sack.
Oof.
Sergeant Legacy 7, you are a frequent contributor to our comments page. I want to say special hello to you.
Yeah. Of course, how could we forget 2 vloggers more?
Who's that?
Beats me. But I can't forget them.
I got to check out their stuff.
You two sweet folks.
I don't know.
I mean, you're magical. Yeah, I mean, you're bringing magic and poop dust into the world, and it's magical poop dust, unicorn poop dust, and it's awesome and so positive, so awesome. You guys are good people. Can't wait to bring you over here from the UK, sit you down right here. And,
are they on the YouTube?
Oh, they are on the YouTubes. So check them out, folks.
Gotta check them out.
Please.
It wouldn't be that that charming little couple from the UK, would it be?
Yeah.
Is that who we're talking about?
It's exactly who I just said.
Those 2 people that I can't get enough of, that I can't stop watching their weekly vlogs. Those 2 people?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who you're talking about.
But
they know.
Yes, you basically feel like part of their family.
They know that we adore you guys. You guys are the top of the pops, if you will. Little reference there from the UK.
So there.
Big Beefcake Gaming?
Oh, of course. Come on.
Okay, so here's what I want you guys to do. All
Funky Monk, whatever.
Funky Monk's the OG.
Monks,
We say hello to him every time. Here's what I want all 815 of you guys.
I know, 815 guys. 815. We got over that YouTube slump.
YouTube can't stop us. I'm telling you, we were at 803 and then 801 and then 804 and then 802. But YouTube cannot hold the new 80's Revolution down. We're up to 815 and climbing. But I want all 815 of you, all 814 of you, because one of you is Big Beefcake Gaming. I want you to go over to Big Beefcake Gaming's channel. And he just does this. I love watching
food and horror.
This little series that he does called Saturday Night Horror, and basically, he spends his Saturday night watching 1 or 2 horror movies and making some food, eating his food, watching his movie, and then telling us what he thought about it. And I just think the guy just seems like one of the nicest, most down-to-earth people to just chum around with.
Definitely.
And just hang out and watch a movie and eat some lasagna with, or whatever he makes. So the channel doesn't get the love that it deserves. It doesn't get the views that it deserves. So I want all of you to go check out Big Beefcake Gaming. He's got some old episodes of Saturday Night Horror up, and then they cracked down on him, of course, because they're all evil. And then he started a new Saturday Night Horror where he's not showing any clips of the movies. But I want you to all go check it out. It's up probably every Monday or Tuesday, his new episode. Go look at it. Go check it out. Go subscribe. Go give him some views. What up, Big Beefcake, my man? How's that?
Word.
Good?
Yeah, man.
Should we give him the big news?
Nothing but love, guys.
We're closing the shutters.
Yeah.
We're shutting down.
Not really.
It's over. The new 80's revolution, no more.
Nope.
We're
not
done.
True.
Oh, what are we doing then? What the heck's going on?
Well, what we're going to do, folks...
But what do you guys think of this first?
Yes.
We want to hear your opinions.
Yeah. Please, let us know.
What do you think about this concept?
So, I brought this to the attention of Jason to let him marinate. Let's see what you think of this idea of trying to expand what this is. It truly is it's nothing more than trying to bring different facets of geekdom, of pop culture, into this channel. Broadening the audience, getting that community to jack up a little bit more. And we love the community. You've been awesome.
Oh.
But we want more people. We want more eyes on this.
Yeah.
You know, we want to spread the love to as many people as possible.
As grateful and as thankful as we are, first of all, this is letting me live beyond anything I thought we would ever do with this. So I could stop now and be satisfied. But with that, well, I know.
I couldn't.
With that being said, I'm not satisfied. We know the content that we're putting out. We know the quality of the content that we're putting out. We know the lack of quality that is on this YouTube that has millions more views. Okay? I will not name names because most of you got me started in wanting to make these videos. But going out and doing the exact same thing every single episode, every single week, and getting the views and subscribers that you have kind of frustrates us because we're putting out fresh new content, a couple of times a month, and we're still kind of stuck in that 8-15 range. It doesn't do my heart well. But go on.
Basically, we feel like we bring some entertainment, folks, and we bring some genuine, passionate entertainment to the people out there, and this is a way to expand that to an even larger group of people who might not just want to settle in for some 80s nostalgia. Maybe they want to hear us talk about some other things. Maybe wrestling.
Wait, an exclusive show just talking about wrestling?
Yeah. So, I came to Jason and I says,
Jason,
what do you think about making the channel exactly? And he was like,
I sneezed
whoa!
all
He was
over
like,
it.
you got it. Anyway, so it was, what if we make the channel like an entertainment hub?
A brand.
Like a place.
A network.
That you go to that has spider legs.
A network.
What I mean is offshoots.
A brand.
There are several shows under one umbrella.
A network.
A network.
Told you.
So we would have the New 80's Revolution
as a show,
which would be the exclusive show
on the network.
It's the show that you love, and we would continue to do
umbrella, network,
the New 80's Revolution
shows.
But what if there was also a show,
other shows,
that was dedicated to wrestling
on the network?
On the network, adjacent to the New 80's Revolution.
Another show.
Another show.
Like on ABC Friday nights. There was more than just one show.
Yes. So what if there was a wrestling show? But But that's not all.
That wouldn't be it, would it?
No. What if there was also a pop culture geek show?
Just in general?
Just in general. Taking insights and info and entertainment from comic books, superhero movies, genre films.
I don't know a lot about that.
Toys from the modern era.
I really couldn't be on that, could I?
But there was that all-encompassing pop culture show as well. So that's 2 shows that are adjacent to the new 80s Revolution show.
On the network.
On a new network.
But you guys, we do some horror talk, too.
But that's not it.
What if there were... No.
There would be a horror show. A show just devoted to horror. And that's 50s horror, 60s horror, 70s horror, 80s horror, 90s horror. Yes, some modern horror, but horror as well. The show would just be horror.
On the network.
On this network that is adjacent to the new 80s Revolution.
Now, you and I would get really tired of talking about all that stuff.
Yeah. 2 human beings just can't talk that much.
2 human beings just can't talk that much. Who else would there be other hosts
of
goodness. These shows?
Jason, I'm glad you asked that. Because in the new 80s Revolution, you get our beautiful faces.
Well, yeah, I mean...
We are the main hosts of this show. This is our show.
We're not going anywhere.
And we'll have occasional Peewees Playhouse guests.
We've seen Chris Tansky. We've seen Carrie Elizabeth. Folks met Casey
Bowker. So, you know we're going to have guests, reoccurring guests, and new guests on our show.
You guys.
But, on the wrestling show...
Would I do the wrestling show?
Jason Knupp and Chris Tansky would be the hosts of the wrestling show.
Wait, I would have my own show on the network without you?
Without me. I would not be here,
Chris Tansky, who is a very educated 80s wrestling aficionado, we would both
just wrestling in general.
We would both be sitting down here talking about wrestling? And it would be nothing but wrestling?
Well, maybe not in this exact seat, but in this room.
Right.
Absolutely.
We could do it over there.
Absolutely.
Huh.
Crazy, right?
Well, Carrie likes horror.
Well, the horror show would be hosted by myself, Chris Tansky, and Carrie Elizabeth.
Lovely Carrie.
3 gore hounds who love all aspects of the horror genre and have their foot dipped in many aspects of the horror genre as well.
And then you and Casey, you do this sort of this
and then for
general 80s nostalgia bit.
Not even, I mean...
Just pop culture in general.
It's pop culture, yeah.
So you'd talk about like a modern movie or a modern character, really?
I mean, everything, we you know... Basically, Gourmet Scum Radio would become Gourmet Scum TV. That show would be known as Gourmet Scum TV.
Wow.
Instead of... Well, you'd still have the podcast folks who listen to the podcast, but it would be televised, if you will, under this umbrella as Gourmet Scum.
And down here, maybe all by myself, I could turn on the camera and I could go back to my roots and I could talk about wrestling figures?
I mean, that's the joy of any of it. Like, you can still do your separate videos. I will still do my separate videos.
I can bring the 5-year-old down.
There will be so much content.
All under the umbrella of a network.
That's right.
That we haven't named yet.
No.
Maybe they
but we're working
could be
on
involved
it.
with
We're
it
working on it. Yeah, give us some ideas, folks. An umbrella network that hosts
multiple shows.
Yes. And specials like the Jason doing his collections, and we bring our children's on, and the unboxings and all of that stuff. All the, I mean, the sky is the limit. What do you think?
Let me let that sink in a bit.
And it doesn't take away from anything.
Nothing. So you mean that you and I are still going to do this show called The New 80s Revolution?
Absolutely.
We're going to just sit right down here and we're going to do what we just did tonight.
100%.
And then I might do a wrestling show with Chris Tansky.
You're
going to do a horror show with Carrie and Chris. you and your cousin are going to talk about just fun stuff, and we're all going to sort of guest star on each other's shows.
What's great is that we'll all cross-pollinate.
What on earth is happening?
In addition to guests that you've never met, that just pop in, interviews, all of that stuff.
Guests who you are. Like you guys. We're still going to go to like conventions.
Oh, yes. Yeah. None of that is changing.
All this is stemmed from me with an unusually bland, monotone close-up of me talking about my collection. That's what this is all morphed from.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Let's turn the New 80's Revolution. Let's make the New 80's Revolution a show. Let's make the brand.
Help us get to 816, folks.
Get us to 816 in the next 3 minutes, and you can name our brand. So, yeah, a network, guys. I've been saying that over and over again. A network. A network of shows, an ABC, a CBS, an NBC, a CW, a Telemundo, with a whole plethora of shows that we know you guys want to see featuring the cats that you love the most on this planet, us and our minions.
The Revolution Gang.
The gang of
The
revolutionists.
Revolution Gang.
The Revolutionaries. What do you think? Let us know. That could be the short-term future of this show, of this channel.
Yeah, man. Again, the possibilities are awesome.
Yeah.
The options are crazy.
We want to take over the world.
Bringing in all sorts of fans and fandom that, might not even know one thing about one thing, and then they're like, oh, what's this show? I just tuned in for this, but there's this show?
I just had a thought that would probably put a lot of work on you, a lot of pressure on your plate.
Well, it's already going to be a lot of work because I'm going to be editing all of
Christopher's the editor. So what if we ended up getting to a point where Friday nights was Friday Night Wrestling Chat? What if Wednesday night was the New 80's Revolution? I mean,
that's what it's going to be.
What
it's going to have to be.
We had a set schedule when you guys could tune into your favorite show on our network?
I mean, soon you're going to have a whole guide.
We're going to need a TV guide for this network. In fact, I think one of our shirts should be, "It's going to be a network." I like that idea. Did we get to 816? Let me see.
I don't know.
Oh, there's my monotone mug. The plot thickens, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on here? No. 8:15.
We're at 8:15, but that is awesome. That is awesome, folks.
But guys, think about the growth of the channel. We won't even call it a channel anymore. We're going to call it a network. And there's going to be shows underneath that network, and those possibilities, we've identified some for you tonight. There could be more.
Well, let's hope not right away. I mean, that 4 shows is a lot.
Is this more than we can handle?
This is going to be good. This will be good. I think we can work with. We've talked to Casey, we've talked to Carrie, and we've talked to Tansky, and they're all on board. Everyone just wants to see this be a success.
Yeah.
And ultimately, they want to see us be a success. That's what was so great about them taking part in it in the first place. They loved what we were doing, and they just wanted to help promote it, help do whatever. They just wanted to be like, yes, this needs to be something, and I love their positivity, and I love their enthusiasm, and it's awesome that they want to see this just grow and explode.
So tell us if you're on board with us.
Yeah.
If you're not, you ain't got to go home.
Yeah,
but you got to get up out of here.
Yeah, you might not want to watch those shows, but that's okay. You can stick to the show that you love.
Right. Tune into the wrestling show.
Yeah.
Tune into the horror show.
And we know you're gonna.
Let's bring horror fans who don't want anything to do with wrestling. Don't unsubscribe. Don't go find Logan Paul. Don't go find Cinema Sickness. Ooh, I wasn't gonna say anybody. Stick around here. Watch the horror show. Don't watch the wrestling show. My wrestling people, I know that the originals are still sticking by because they're going to get little pieces of wrestling here and there. They want to see a dedicated wrestling show. You're going to get a dedicated wrestling show with two cats who can talk all night long about 1980s wrestling. We'll even talk about last night's wrestling if you want to know about that stuff. And you'll see a
couple of dudes from old school 80s promo who show up throughout all of the shows. Who pop in.
Trashfield Cat
and Manhammer will pop in throughout everything, like a shared universe.
Almost like a Rhonda Shear sort of,
up all night.
They'll kind of be the. What if they were the hosts? What if they introed all these shows? I mean,
maybe. Who knows?
I don't know what
guys. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, they're not busy.
I don't know what they're doing.
Please, those guys.
If they want to get on board, send us a Twitter.
Yeah, guys.
Send us an Instagram. I don't know.
You've already done so much for the New 80s Revolution. You two cats need to be back in the limelight.
Let us know if you want to be back on the show. But give us your thoughts, guys. Give us your thoughts. What do you think? That about it?
I think that's it. Other than go to our Facebook.
Oh, yeah,
Our Facebook is rocking and rolling.
It's pimp time.
Every single day we get new followers on our Facebook page. Come to the show, guys. And I say it all the time. Please, the Facebook page is just an offshoot of what this is. It's a promotion tool for the show. So please, come to YouTube. Come to the New 80s Revolution.
Subscribe. That's the only way we're going to fight the system.
Also, guys, here's another... This is serious. This means something.
Oh, okay.
Please, the little bell that you see in the right-hand corner of your YouTube, click that to make sure that you always get notification that the shows are coming up. Because YouTube is pulling some stuff. And a lot of people are finding out about new shows months later. So please, get that little bell going.
And get us to 1,000. Get us to 1,000 so that we can start making 13 cents a day from YouTube. If
they accept us again.
If they welcome us back into the monetization world. It's not about the finances. It's about us, the little channels, sticking it to the big, boring channels. I guess you and I can go out to thrift stores every single day and buy VHS tapes and DVDs and resell them on eBay every single day. I guess we can do that and get 7,000 subscribers. But we're making quality entertainment, and we want you guys to be a part of it.
We want to be us. We want to be genuine. We want to be passionate.
We've said enough.
So Facebook. Go to Facebook. Please go to our Instagram, The New 80s Revolution.
Give us some money on Patreon. Be a patron.
Please be a patron. Visit our Patreon. It's patreon.com/new80srev. That's awesome. Check out our Twitter,
TeePublic
1980s Revolution. Of course, our TeePublic page has awesome merch, and we're going to be adding new merch all the time.
Steel City Con coming up in April.
Steel City Con, folks.
Tons
Steel
of
City
footage
Con
from that.
In Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Come on out. Check us out at Steel City Con. We're going to be running around, getting footage, having our eyes bugged out, enjoying the nostalgia and the laughs and the fun. Carrie Elizabeth is going to be with us. It's going to be awesome.
Guys, that's all we got. That's all the news. That's all the updates. You saw the show. You saw the pickups. Go give us some money. Go subscribe. We're going to come back in a couple more episodes, and we'll see you soon. Stick around for the Toy Room Tour. That's coming up next.